From Kindred, love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. There's Fraser Rostance and Nenad Vladisavljevic. Oh, Joton! That's not the sort of hype I meant. I meant just chill. I don't know. Boom Flare, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Can we have a hashtag cheer in the chat for the 500 biddies? But we are off for race number 2. And Fraser Rostance has got a great start here then. Ladies and gentlemen, or gentle cars, as we come down in towards turn number 1. And Fraser is going to go through there nicely. Nenad Vladisavljevic then. Well, he's actually just had a little bit of contact with another Civic, which was indeed Zvonimir Burek. So Zvonimir Burek trying to send one up the inside, and Nenad was having absolutely none of it, which is fair play to him. Wagner then is in 3rd position, Zvonimir 4th, Mika up to 5th then. Piri Majicero is now down to 6th. So here we go, Philip Meanwhile versus Mika Nyman, 2 points between them. Philip has to get ahead of Mika here, has to get ahead of him as soon as possible, and you can see he's actually got more pressure from behind of Robin Stryczek and Piri Majicero. Robin Stryczek already trying to make some moves here, and you can see very late on the brakes there. A couple of people off circuit in the background. Well, that is not what you want to be seeing here. So Richard Bandit was off there. I think Carlson may have gone off there. 3 wide at the background here. Of course, Carlson, winner from race number 1, made a mistake there. Looks like he got on the brakes a little bit too late. Not happened. Who went to school for sports commentary? You, sir, are incredibly talented. Oh, God. I don't know whether to take people seriously when they say nice things like that on Twitch. Jan Horozovsky looks like he may be out of this race, and Dafka, so then they've been involved with some sort of shenanigans here. Again, Meanwhile's then behind Mika Nyman, so it's between those two for P2 in the championship there. Robin Stryczek, P6, he has won the championship, he's done, but it's between the number 18 and the number 52 on your screens there for 2nd position. Yeah, Casual Gator Racing, thank you, man. I really appreciate the kind words, but yeah, it's hard to judge when people are taking a piss or not. But yeah, thank you, dude. Down the long straight here towards the right-hander. We're in the final sector then of lap number 1. And look at this then, Meanwhile knows he has to get the job done here early. Again, P4 would be enough for him to tie it up, I think, actually. So P4, they would get... how many points do you get for P4 in my championship? 7 points. And P5, you get 6. So actually, no, it wouldn't be enough. It would not be enough here. So actually, he needs to get up into the podium spots here. Mika knows all he's got to do is keep him behind him, and he's golden. But it's going to be interesting here, of course, with the championship leader, Robin Stryczek, also involved here in that Hyundai. So the number 88 Hyundai is actually, look at the straight line speed of it. CJBT Gaming, thanks for the follow. It is going to go 3 wide down towards turn number 1. We've got Nenad trying to make a move potentially of Fraser Rostance as well. In behind them is Andreas Wagner. Mika Nyman then defending from Robin Stryczek. And they've got Piri Majicero here as well. Front 3 are in a nice close pack here. And actually, with the battling going on behind them, there's every reason to suggest that Nenad might be able to have a little run here at Fraser Rostance. Nenad and Fraser, neither have ever won a race here at ACR. Andreas Wagner has, but could Fraser Rostance or Nenad Vladisavljevic indeed get their first ever victories? Little story about Nenad, go on my YouTube, you could see a video about him. He is, yeah, he's got no usage of, he's got very limited usage of his arms. He has to, well, he's taken the lead of the race. He has taken the lead of the race. He's a paraplegic as well, so he has no feeling below, like, his neck. His arms have just got a little bit of feeling where he has to use joysticks to move the steering of the car. He has to use a mouthpiece to do throttle for the car. Does Nenad. I'm not even joking. Please watch the video on YouTube. This guy is incredibly talented, and he leads the race here at Road America. Jennifer, how you doing, man? So Nenad Vladisavljevic here is leading the race. This could be his first ever victory if he holds on to it with 11 minutes gone. Again, if someone could go to my YouTube and link the video into the chat, please. Yeah, like just winning one of these races, being full able-bodied is incredible, but Nenad's story is ridiculous. But here we go. He's still going to win it. Fraser's not going to give it to him, that's for sure. Nenad goes defensive here, though, in that Honda Civic. Fraser late on the brakes in the Audi, of course, he gets on the brakes nicely, and Fraser's one of the safest drivers around as well. Andreas Wagner trying to find that bit of space here as well. Yeah, that's right, Jennifer. That's the guy. So Nenad leads the way. And actually, look at the background here. Wagner is trying to stick a nose up the inside here of Fraser Rostance. And we know that Hyundai's pretty damn good in a straight line, especially with a little bit of slipstream as well as we head across the start-finish line. And, well, it is Andreas Wagner behind Fraser Rostance. Yeah, guys, after the stream, make sure you copy and paste that and save it. Watch that video after the stream to learn all about Nenad. Nenad is, and he's a really nice guy. Like, he is lovely, lovely chap. And also a fun fact, all of his equipment blew up 3 weeks ago. And I contacted my boss at Logitech, and they sent him out the Xbox adaptation kit and a new joystick, that the brand newest joystick they have at Logitech for free. So they just sent it out to him. So they sorted out his whole new setup as well to keep him league racing. So how cool is that? How cool is that of Logitech to do that? They didn't have to, and yeah, they did. They sent it out to Serbia for him. Fantastic story. So Nenad still leading the way here. It is between Fraser Rostance and Wagner. Wagner up the inside. I think Wagner may have it here. He does. So Wagner's got the job done, but wow, Fraser's going to hold it around the outside for sure, and he's not able to get the job done back on Andreas Wagner. So the German now chasing down Nenad Vladisavljevic. 9 minutes to go. You can see that everybody in the background. Jan Horozovsky is the only one out of this race right now, unfortunately. O'Rourke Prime, how you doing, bud? Havazide, yeah, unbelievable story. Absolutely unbelievable story. Do you know what? If I could Ric Flair woo the stream myself after this race, if he does cross the line in the win, I would. But unfortunately, I can't. But yeah, this guy is an absolute hero. And wow, it's going to be a tough task. Wagner is closing in at a rate of knots here. Meanwhile, by the way, still behind Mika. So Mika indeed will take P2 in the championship. Gotta watch this here. This could be one of the best stories in ACR history. Nenad Vladisavljevic is potentially, he's got it all to do, but he potentially could become a race winner here. Let's check out his stats. Let's check out his stats. I just don't want to jinx it. But he's got 0 wins, you see. He's got a podium. He got a podium at Macau last season, of all places. And he's got himself a top 5 once. He's had 10 top 10s, but he's only had 1 result in the top 5, and that was all the way last season. He's had 0 pole positions, no fastest laps, DNF 0 at 7. He's never had a driver of the day either. Is today the day? Is today the day? Do we just leave him alone, guys? Do we just leave him alone? Do we not put him on camera at all? That's a good idea. Good idea, chat. Philip, meanwhile, then trying to make the move here on Miko. And oh, it's a late move up the inside by Piri. So Piri has seen Philip, meanwhile, is trying to get the overtake done and decides, you know what, I'm going to attack myself here. Although he's not able to get the job done there. And actually, the Honda Civic driver does indeed hold on to that P6. Needs to get up to P5. Fraser Rostance now down to P4. So Robin Strycek is now chasing them both down. So Robin Strycek, of course, is our champion, ladies and gentlemen. He is officially the champion. He is now chasing down the leaders of this race. Wagner is right up in behind Nenad as well. Oh dear, that's very late there. It looks like Mika Nyman has actually spun the car. He's lost the car here, and actually that's going to give Meanwhile an opportunity. Although no, Meanwhile was the one who caused it. Right, they're actually teammates, just believe it or not. But yeah, it looks like Philip has gone very late on the brakes there, and it's cost him. And all of a sudden now Carlson, who was battling right at the back of the field here at the start of this race, is now all the way up into what looks like P9. Great drive from him then. Andreas Wagner and a couple of Hyundais. So we've got a Civic leading this race with a couple of Hyundais in behind him here. It's going to be an interesting one. Macau is one of the most difficult circuits in the world, isn't it? That is for sure. Very, very interesting indeed. But as it stands then, it is Nenad Vladisavljevic who leads the way. Andreas Wagner is in second. And you're going to realise very quickly why this is one of the hardest races, or one of the hardest championships to get a victory in. It is just stacked with talent. It's absolutely stacked with talent. Wagner there goes a little bit deep. And will he get the optimum line through there? He will not, actually. And actually lost a bit of time here to P3 then. Robin Strycek. So Strycek now involved here with Andreas Wagner. So they're going to start battling here. It's going to be interesting. Oh, Tariga, how you doing, man? So here we go then. We're going to start now the third from last race. 3 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see here then that Robin Strychek's got the run on Andreas Wagner, the German versus German here. As they come down in towards turn one, I think Robin Strychek's going to have the nose in front here. That is for certain. And you can see how quickly he's closing in on that Civic here. And Wagner, is he going to stick the nose in up the inside? He's not going to be able to. And well, there you go. Robin Strychek now into P2. He's up to P2 here. So now if the task could be any harder than it already was, now you've got the quickest guy in our WTCR series of the season breathing down your neck. So a chance for your first ever victory here, Nenad. But if you're going to get it, you're going to have to bloody well earn it, that's for sure. Because Robin Strychek is not going to be giving this to you. That is for certain here. It's been a great drive from Robin just to get up to P2 from where he was on the grid. It's P10 after the... No, sorry, it wasn't. It was P7. But he's chasing down Nenad Vladislavovich. Nenad has to be defensive-minded here. Cuts the corner a little bit slightly there. Gets away with it. Carlson, by the way, hasn't. And now you've got 4 drivers in behind him there. Fraser Rostance, by the way, is back up the front here. Of course, he was on pole position with Nenad in 2nd spot. This is a close race here. This is a very close race. Can Nenad get his first ever victory here? Is this the day that he becomes an absolute legend in the ACR community? Is Robin Strychek going to get that move done? Again, we know that he's one of the most ruthless drivers in the community, is Robin Strychek. If he sees a snifter of an opportunity, he will take it. Well, Nenad has to have his wits about him here. And what Nenad really wants is Andreas Wagner to catch up to the back of Robin and then to start battling. Because this looks like it almost might be done here already. Robin Strychek then trying to find a gap up the inside. And again, not able to do so. On the brakes a little bit later. And Nenad makes a mistake. Nenad runs wide. Nenad's going to give up the lead here, I think, as they come up through the S's then. And Robin Strychek's going to have to go the long way round here. Oh, almost a bit of contact there. And actually, Robin does get the job done. So one small mistake there by Nenad. And it's cost him the chance of maybe winning this race. Although he is right up and behind that Hyundai. Gets a great drive then out of the final corner here. And wow, can he potentially, with 2 laps to go, get back into the lead of this race? That Hyundai is a bit of a rocket in a straight line, but with a little bit of slipstream here. Can that Civic do the business? Again, this is where you're really going to see that slipstream come into effect. He is closing up nicely here. He is going to have to go around the long way. Robin Strychek, though, is not going to make it easy, of course. Down in towards turn number 1. And Nenad's going to try and find a gap here. Oh, he has found a gap. He's going for the whoop-de-wop. He's got the inside line. Has he got the nose there? Not quite. So he's giving it a bloody good go here. He's got the long run down underneath the cheese bridge as well, down in towards turn number 3. And I tell you what, Nenad has given up P1 here, but he has not given up the fight for this race. This is incredible stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Can he go and get the job done? Start voting for your driver of the day. We've got ourselves 2 laps remaining here. Nenad, he swerves in behind Robin Strychek, tries to play mind games here then with the German, and while in behind him then is Andreas Wagner as well. Robin Strychek makes a little bit of a mistake there, a little bit of an error, uncharacteristically from him. So Nenad is piling on that pressure here, and while he is feeling it here, can he get the job done? 1.5 laps remain then of this race here at Road America. The first time we've ever been at Road America. But I tell you what, Nenad, not only has he got to put the pressure on in front, he's got a driver in Andreas Wagner, who has won a couple of races already this season, just in behind him here. So there we go, we're going to go on board with Wagner. And Wagner's also, if we look from the rear of Andreas Wagner's car, it's got Fraser Rostance there in the Audi. So very close indeed. Actually, let's check it out from Fraser Pants' car. Whew, up towards the flat-out right-hand, and then they've got that long straight here again. The Hyundai is like a rocket in a straight line, and you see that wow, Andreas Wagner trying his level best to get the move done here as soon as possible. This is where, indeed, Robin Strychek got the move done. And oh, there's contact between the 2 here. Nenad is going to go late on the brakes, potentially at the inside of Robin. Oh, it's a proper touring car move, if you've ever seen one. And actually, Nenad gets off the power to let him go. So Nenad's got off the power, and now he's under pressure from Andreas Wagner. So yeah, there was a bit of a mistake there, a bit of contact into the braking zone, and Nenad had the nous there to go, sorry, Robin. All in one, he tried to save the car and let the driver go ahead. You've got to respect it. Superb driving. This is touring car driving at the absolute limit, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the final lap of today's race. Come on, Nenad. You can do it, my friend. It's your time is now. So in that slipstream, then, it's Honda Civic versus the power of the Hyundai. And actually, Andreas Wagner no longer in the battle here. Nenad then maybe looking for a gap up the inside like he did on the previous lap, not quite able to do so here. So again, it is Robin Strycek, championship winner, of course, versus Nenad Vladisavljevic. Anders Antel, by the way, is joining in for a bit of fun here on the final lap as well. And wow, it's going to take one mistake here from Robin Strycek, and Nenad is going to take that opportunity. Now it's down underneath the Sargento Bridge, down the hill towards turn number 3. Harsh braking zone here, and again you can see that Hyundai, the power advantage of the Hyundai really coming into fruition here. Nenad though is closing in that slipstream, and again on the brakes early, maximizes the entrance to the corner, on the power nice and early as they come up towards the Corvette Bridge, and oh, looked like Robin Strycek had made ever such a slight mistake there then, through left-hander, again here into the middle sector. This is the technical sector, this is where the Civic should be in its home ground right now, and again Robin's just got that gap here. I think it might be a bit too much. It's going to take a big mistake here from Robin. We've not seen many of those this season from Robin. Nenad has put so much pressure on him here though, so he might be on his absolute limit as they come up towards the carousel for the very final time here of our last race of the WTCR Championship, and Nenad's given it everything. He really, really has. He's half a second behind, has to be on the power as early as possible, has to take a chance now if he wants to win this race. Is second good enough for him right now? I don't know, we're going to find out in his driving style here. Will he go for the victory? I don't know. Robin Strycek, though, stands in the way of him and his first victory. But all it will take is Robin to miss his braking point. It's very simple to do with a car so close behind you, up towards the right-hander here. And again, you can see that the Honda is on the brakes so much later. And oh, a little bit of contact there maybe with a driver behind. Or is he just missed his braking point? No, Wagner is very close behind him, but there was no contact there. As they come up towards the final corner here then, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think he's going to have enough time here. I do not think he's going to have enough time. Although Robin did just run out wide ever so slightly. It's not going to be enough, ladies and gentlemen. Robin Strycek, not only is he our champion, but he will come across the line here and pick up the victory of the last race of the season. Nenad Vladisavljevic will just about get P2. Andreas Wagner will finish in P3. What a race that was, ladies and gentlemen. What a race that was. Robin Strycek will indeed get the victory. Nenad in second spot. Then Andreas Wagner will pick up P number 3. It will be 4th for Anders Antel. And Horozovsky is a DNF as well. There we go. So all of our drivers. Fastest lap of the race then, a 2:16.287 for Anders Antel. 2:16.287 for Now it's time for your official race podium.